Hi everybody, CutieVamp here, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for those who have been subscribed. If you're new, if you could please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you do not miss an upload. I tend to upload once or twice a week. The uploads will probably go up more frequently when I get back in America, so yay, keep looking up for that. And if you like this video, please give it a like and comment. And I do respond to all the comments as best as I can. So far I've responded to everything, so we're doing good. But today is going to be a different topic than what I'm usually used to doing on my channel. I am going to be covering YouTube's guidelines and stuff for the FTC and COPPA, however you say it. Now, YouTube recently just got a fine, and we're taking to court and everything over the FTC COPPA violation that they went into. I believe instead of actually doing the fine, though, they were given an ultimatum and were basically told, hey, you need to put these guidelines onto your platform for your creators instead of taking responsibility for themselves. And yeah, so I wanted to go over everything and go over the different ways that they could instead go about doing COPPA and my opinions on like what they should do instead of punishing the creators themselves, since YouTube is the platform. They are in charge of everything that goes on. So let's get right into this. According to the FTC's guidance on COPPA, a video is child-directed, which we call made for kids, if the children are the primary audience based on the factors described below, and children are not the primary audience, but the video is still directed to children based on the factors below. Now, when deciding whether or not your channel or video is made for kids, you should consider various factors, including the subject matter of the video, educational content for preschoolers. Now, this one makes total sense. I totally get it. Like, they mean videos that are like your ABCs, the Baby Shark song, the Family Finger Family, I don't remember what it's called. Or those videos are 100% directed towards kids, and that one is 100%, like, I understand it. Now, whether children are intended or actual audience for the video. Now, okay, this one is a little bit, it's not really vague, but it's more, what do you mean? Like, my channel, for example, and I know a bunch of other creators, like, children aren't our intended audience for the video, but it also says or actual audience for the video. So, like, I guess that means, of course, like, if you have a bunch of kids who watch your videos who are below the age of 13, which is what is considered kids due to COPPA, whatever. We can't really control our audience. Even if a child shouldn't be watching something, like, it's not the creator's fault. So I don't think they should punish us for children watching our stuff, especially when we're like, hey, don't watch it, it's not for 13 or younger, or specifically because the YouTube app, you are supposed to be 13 or older anyway to use it. So most of our videos are actually intended for audience over the age of 13, because we create our videos that way, because kids aren't supposed to be on the platform anyway. I mean, YouTube does have YouTube Kids, which is crazy, because why aren't they using YouTube Kids? Why are we getting punished? Is YouTube gonna just become YouTube Kids? Or I don't know what's gonna happen. It's really crazy to think of it that way. Okay, so the next one is whether the video includes child actors or models. That makes sense. as in child actors from movies like Home Alone when he was a kid, stuff like that. I get that one. Whether the video includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children, including animated characters or cartoon figures. This one's really, really, really vague, because I know that they're meaning when it goes to animated characters or cartoon figures like SpongeBob and whatnot, but like they could also be meaning certain characters, like my character, for example. She is one of my characters, and she's an animated character. Technically, she's a cartoon, but like she is not meant for kids, and I don't know what is going to be implemented with that, because there's a lot of characters out there that really are not intended for children, as in, for example, Adult Swim has a lot of cartoon shows on it that you should not be watching if you are a child. So how are they going to be able to determine which ones are actually for kids and not? Or are they going to say all of them are, which would be extremely bad, because not all characters and cartoons and stuff are meant for kids. Adults do like cartoons. I am an anime fan myself, and I do love stuff like Rick and Morty and whatnot. So for them to try and include all of that together, which I hope that's not what they're doing when they say this, because, for example, again, my character, she's not meant for kids. Her shirt says manko, and if you know Japanese, you know it means pussy. I'm not going to be bleeping myself or anything in this video. I'm going to be full and blunt. I'm not going to be cussing, though, because I do want the FTC to actually see this video. If they do, that would be amazing. But yeah, it's just, this one's really baffling to me, because it's like, not all characters on the internet are made to target children. Like, I don't care if my character's pink and whatnot, and little girls love pink. She's not meant for a child. I'm sorry. Now, whether the language of the video is intended for children to understand. Now, that again is going into like, this one I understand 100%, because they mean like, for kids videos, you know, when you watch the Wiggles and stuff, how they talk to you when they're kids. Shout out to the Wiggles. Loved that show growing up as a kid. But yeah, it's basically like children's shows on TV, like how they talk to you. And in my videos alone, and I know a bunch of other YouTubers, we use more intelligent, intellectual way of speaking. Not too much for our non-native English speakers, but enough to where it's like, hey, we want our audience is older. We want them to be able to understand what we mean and convey that in a good manner for the videos that we produce. Now let's see, whether the video includes songs, stories, or poems for children. Again, 100% understand that. That's going to the ABCs, stories like the Little Red Riding Hood or whatever, and like poems, which would be, I don't know any kids' poems off the top of my head, but yeah, it's basically those things, so completely understand that. Now this is a weird one. Any other information you may have to help determine your video's audience, like empirical evidence of the video's audience. This ties back into the other one, the second one, whether children are your intended or actual audience for the video. We cannot control who watches our channel. If kids are gonna watch it, kids are gonna watch it. It's up to the parents to be like, hey, you shouldn't be watching this channel. They're a little mature for you. Here's YouTube Kids app instead. Like, come on, watch YouTube Kids. It's a thing. And just, yeah, we can't control who watches our videos. It's just, unless I'm gonna mature every single one of my videos to 18 plus, which I don't want to do because I'm not an 18 plus channel. But yeah, no, we can't control our audience unless we do that, and I'm not going to be doing that on all my videos because I'm not an 18 plus channel. I'm sorry. So, and I know other YouTubers who are the same way. They're not an 18 plus channel at all. Some of them don't even cuss at all. So they're gonna be kids who are gonna be watching it because parents will be just handing their phone off to the kids and be like, here, watch YouTube. And then they just watch things on the recommended tab that are on autoplay, and we can't control that. And it should really be on the parents. But in all honesty, at that point, it's not YouTube's fault, it's the parents, and the FTC should not get involved in parenting, and they should just let it happen or start. I don't know. I don't think they should be involved in parenting. The government should not be involved in any type of parenting unless it is going to be causing harm to the child physically, mentally, due to abuse or neglect, stuff like that. And if it's not dealing with abuse or neglect or whatever, I don't think the government should get involved. The YouTube site tells you need to be 13 or plus to make an account. Now, I know there's an excuse being like, oh, well, you can just watch YouTube without making an account, and that's how some of these kids are getting on here, and that's how the YouTube got in trouble and everything. Here's the solution for YouTube. Make accounts mandatory to be on YouTube. Then at that point, if you say, hey, I am 13 plus and have parental consent, then it's no longer on YouTube or the FTC. It's on the parent. Basically, at this point, with COPPA, like, I get it. They're trying to protect children's information online. But again, if somebody signs up to YouTube and creates an account and they say they're 13, like, there's really not much you can do if you do collect that information on them. At that point, if they find out that the person is younger than 13, they can deactivate the account, suspend it, whatever. And to me, the COPPA on YouTube thing is like, basically they're being helicopter parents, and they're trying to be super controlling of everything that the children are watching, that the parents are letting their kids watch. And it should not be on the content creators. It shouldn't even be on YouTube at that point. YouTube, again, they have rules stating you need to be 13 plus to use it. We have YouTube Kids is a thing. And a lot of people keep forgetting that YouTube Kids is a thing. And they need to start using YouTube Kids. If people started using YouTube Kids and the parents started using YouTube Kids and not allowed their children on the platform, unless they are 13 years of age or older with parental consent, of course, it would be a lot easier on all of us content creators because we can make the content that we want without fear of getting a fine and having to pay a fine that we can't afford. We're not big corporations like YouTube. So everything is on the parents. The FTC should not be getting involved. Note, YouTube analytics is not designed to help determine if your content is child-directed. You should use the factors outlined by the FTC above to set your audience. Okay, so that again confuses me, and even more on the second one, whether children are your intended or actual audience for the video, because our analytics lets us know who is watching our content. Again, it's not our fault if a kid uses their parents' account to watch our stuff. Like, I don't know how to go over that. Like, it's very, very, very vague, and they need to give more information on that. How old is a kid? Everybody knows. For the U.S., at least, the age of a kid in the United States is defined as anyone under the age of 13. However, the age of a kid may be higher in other countries, so consider the factors described above as appropriate given how a kid is defined in applicable laws in your country, and consult legal counsel if you have additional questions. we wouldn't have to do that if you guys didn't make it so vague. A lot of people can't afford a lawyer. I'm sure I could probably afford a lawyer, maybe, but that being said, like, a lot of people just can't afford a lawyer, can't afford to just go to court if the FTC decides to take you to court, because every channel video you uploaded got marked as for kid, and you got in trouble, and you're paying over $42,000 for every single video, and you're basically screwed. So it's just, what are we gonna do? Like, we can't afford to go talk to a lawyer. Y'all should just, tell us what to do, because, yeah. What if my content is applicable to a wide audience, but not kids specifically? That basically means, I'm family friendly, like, I do stuff for everybody. But yeah, as the creator, you know your content best. If you intend to reach a kid audience, it's likely that your video is made for kids. If you're not sure about your audience, take a look at some of the features of your video. Does it have actors, characters, activities, games, songs, or stories that kids are particularly attracted to? If so, your video may be directed to kids. Again, going back into the characters situation, my character's not made for kids, so if the FTC wanted to see her and be like, oh yeah, she's made for kids, I'd be like, no, she's not. And a lot of other people online that I know, like, their character, not made for kids. Pantsless pajamas, pretty sure that's not for kids. Hopeless Peach's character, she is a little bit more on the family friendly side. Yeah, so what's gonna happen to her character and whatnot? Like, does she have to just start drawing her in very provocative ways on her channel so that her stuff doesn't get smacked as for kids? Like, well, what's gonna happen, And like, it's just crazy to try and figure out what that means. Like, please give us information, please. Stop making it so vague. The key is to balance all the COPPA specified factors that apply to this analysis. For example, the fact that a kid is featured in a video does not necessarily mean that the video is made for kids. You'll have to look at all other attributes of the video, like the intended audience, whether the video uses language that is intended for kids to understand, and the subject matter of the video, a medical video versus a play video. For further information on whether your content is kid directed, see the FTC's guideline. You should also consider consulting a lawyer if you aren't sure whether your content should be designated as made for kids. YouTube, take responsibility. Stop putting it on the creators, because the FTC is going to make a whole lot of money just because of accidental stuff, because most of us cannot afford to go to a lawyer again. You're going to lose platforms because they can't afford to go to a lawyer. Those people who decide to see what happens, they can't afford a lawyer. They're going to get fined, and then they're going to just end their channel. Other people are going to go elsewhere. So, yay. Bye, YouTube, maybe? In addition, creators outside of the United States will need to take into consideration additional obligations they may have under applicable laws when evaluating whether content is made for kids. Note, while the age of a kid in the United States is defined as anyone under the age of 13, blah, 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 back to the same thing as above. Again, they are just going back in and being like, oh, you know your stuff, like, but you need to seek a lawyer to make sure your stuff's good. YouTube is turning into a platform not for creators. It's no longer broadcast yourself. It's going into companies who are going to be taking over YouTube, because us little people, little content creators, we can't afford lawyers and stuff like these big companies can to get away with continuing to keep their videos up and going. And YouTube's gonna dwindle. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's true. To help it, if they did want to continue on with the FTC's guidelines and COPPA on YouTube and whatnot, they should make the YouTube accessible to only an account to be able to view YouTube videos as 13 plus. That way, if people do use it, you're 13 plus, you use it. Use rating systems like in games, movies, TV for each channel, and then you're not able to access those channels when you sign up for the account, that you wouldn't even be able to view them. So say they want to be like, oh, everybody can use the platform or whatever, or 13 plus, it doesn't matter. You could set the viewing to E for everyone, teen, 18 plus, etc. Because the videos on YouTube, again, they're not supposed to be meant for kids. The kids' videos on YouTube, they need to move all of those to YouTube Kids. Keep the regular videos on YouTube that are not completely 100% directed towards children. Everything else get moved over to YouTube Kids. Allow the YouTube creators to select their viewing type as, E for everyone, teen, 18 plus, etc. And when we are able to implement that onto our channel, you can have the people, again, who sign up and they're just watching and they're not creators. They could be selecting what they want to view, whether they want to view E for everyone, teen appropriate content, and 18 plus. All based on as well with the age. So if they sign up for a YouTube account and they are 13 and they sign in with their age and everything, they cannot view 18 plus content. They won't even be able to select it. The teen, again, would also be for them to be able to accept an E for everyone. Of course, they'd be able to accept that too. Now, when thinking about COPPA and it being an online thing or whatever, for me at least, the best analogy that I can come up with for it is Cartoon Network versus Adult Swim. You don't see Adult Swim getting in trouble for kids watching Cartoon Network and then them staying up late and watching Adult Swim in the middle of the night. Just because, their parents just either let them do it or don't know they're doing it. What happens in that situation if a kid gets caught? Their parents either don't care, continue to let them watching it, or the child gets in trouble by their parents. It's not the parents getting in trouble, it's not the network getting in trouble. And I get it, like, it's all for the protection of their information, but you can't control everything. You think you can, but you cannot. And the only way to fully control everything is delete the platform altogether, and I would hate to see that happen, but I mean, if that does happen, there's other places to move to. There's Twitch, there's the new video uploading, new streaming sites, like, they're all over the place. There's even Pornhub if people want to go there, and they'll be completely safe there, because you can't go in there unless you're 18 plus anyway. But yeah, those are just my thoughts on everything. Yeah, basically what I was talking about is COPPA's, like, names of the kids, addresses, online contact information, and everything. So I've gone over this, and it's basic. This deals with YouTube's side. This has nothing to do with the content creators' side, and for them to try and put it on us, it's not right. It's definitely not right. It needs to stay on YouTube's fault if they want to continue with that, and we as creators should not be fined for something that we cannot control. Again, YouTube can set up a bunch of different ways in order to make it easier for us. Again, YouTube Kids. Yeah, so this one gets me a little heated, and I'm sorry if I came off a little harsh in what I was saying. I really do hope that the FTC does take a look at this video and that they can use some of the information that I gave, tips for them, and implement that into YouTube rules so that everything can be better for everybody. And if not do that, at least make the rules a little bit better to understand. A lot of them, they're pretty vague, and there's gray areas in there that is a little hard to understand for some of us creators, and they should really go into more detail on those, at least at the very minimum. But again, there's other ways to fix all of this, and yeah, I really hope that they see this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and in the comments below, let me know, let the FTC know what you would like to see happen. What do you think would make everything better? Which rules would you like more clarification on? Anything that you think the FTC would be able to read and take into account, and just try and make everything better for everybody. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Jane.